Misinformation from the internet led to a major incident in Chicago last night. Rioting, looting, the Miracle Mile, all the stores broken into and looted, and it all stemmed from misinformation. By the time the information got from Chicago to Indiana to Louisville, Kentucky, what actually happened and what was perceived and sparked outrage were two completely different things. The reports were that a 15-year-old was shot 15 times by police for doing nothing. What actually happened was a 20-year-old fired at police, was shot, taken to the hospital, and is in custody at the hospital. Two completely different situations. One sparked a tremendous outrage, an outrage that led to looting and violence. And that's different than protesting. Looting and violence are different than protesting. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody how to protest. If you think violence is a form of protest, then that's your right to think that. But the appearance and the perception of what happens has impacts. Sometimes what we see is propaganda. Sometimes what we see is actually from the press, it's reporting. But we need to check our sources before we start forwarding things and perpetuating things that aren't true. And that goes for everybody, because it's dangerous when it happens. The investigations are still underway in two cases. The Breonna Taylor case in Louisville, Kentucky, which I've spoke of and will continue to speak about, and the Dre'Shaun Reed case in Indianapolis, which I've spoken of and will continue to speak about. But this episode, we're going to talk about a couple of stories that maybe you haven't heard. Hello again. I'm Barry Welsh. I'm the host of this, The American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Saturday, August 8th, 8 o'clock in the morning, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 9-year-old, all from the same family, were in a car coming back from Walmart. And this happened in Waycross, Georgia. Long story short, because you can go on the internet and find all the details, the officer, the car was being followed, the car that the children were in was being followed by police. Police did not have their lights on. They followed the car very closely, flipped the lights on, and the 16-year-old and the 15-year-old, fearing what might happen from their mistrust of the police, told the other three younger children to jump out of the car and go get their dad. Well, when the three young children, 9, 12, and 14, the 12-year-old, the 14-year-old were female, the 9-year-old's a male, when they jumped out of the car, police started shooting at them. When police arrested the 15 and the 16-year-old, they said that they had shot first and that the 15-year-old had tried to grab the gun from the officer. Hopefully their body cam, and we learn the truth, but sometimes we don't know the truth. The father showed up with a phone and started videoing everything that was happening to his sons. You can find it on Jacksonville TV. You can find it on the internet. It was the Goodman family. Now, the three children, 9, 12, and 14, are going to be traumatized by this, getting shot at. They weren't doing anything wrong. They were coming back from Walmart. The officers are on paid leave, as with the Louisville and Indianapolis situations. Things are under investigation. Things are also under investigation in Phoenix, Arizona, over the shooting of Ryan Whitaker. You may not have heard of this story either. Ryan Whitaker was a white man. Ryan Whitaker was in his apartment with his girlfriend. They were playing a video game, Crash Bandicoot, to be exact, and had made some homemade salsa. There was a noise complaint from a neighbor because the TV was too loud. Knock on the door. They don't identify themselves as police. Ryan Whitaker goes to the door, looks out the peephole, doesn't see anybody. Goes and gets his gun. Another knock at the door. They say, police. He opens the door, turns to put his gun on a nearby table, and is shot 3 times in the back. We'll learn the facts. Hopefully the body cams show. Now, not every police shooting is unjustified, but too many police shootings are unjustified. That's why they march. That's why they protest. That's why I keep reporting these stories. Till the next episode, I'm Barry Welsh. This is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Email me at americandoofus@gmail.com. Please subscribe to the channel and share the post on your social media.